One apple a day keeps the doctor away.
9!
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But do we really want to keep this particular one away? Let's face it, Liyu's friendly neighborhood doctor and pharmacist, Baizhu, is the long-awaited Dendro dad of Liyu, and he has been in Genshin Impact since 1.0. This was also our first look at a Dendro vision, and there were too many fan theories about him. We are finally getting him as a playable unit in the second half of 3.6, and we cannot wait. So join us as we go through what things you can expect of him, and ultimately help you decide whether or not to spend your precious, hard-earned primos on him. But let's face it, who doesn't want to throw a snake at their enemies and watch it leech life out of them? We sure do. As we all know, Baizhu is going to be Dendro Catalyst, just like his lore so far suggested. He is a Dendro unit, about to be released in the midst of the Dendro meta era, so the possibilities are nearly infinite when it comes to team comps surrounding him. He was introduced to us as the humble owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and Kiki's guardian. He doesn't seem to go anywhere without his companion Snake, Shangsheng, who is chilling, draped around his shoulder. We are envious. Both the Genshin community and in-game characters spread many rumors about Baizhu, but what we know for certain is that his traditional herbal medicines are extremely bitter. Regardless, almost everyone in Liyu has complete faith in his skills, including critics like Keging and Xiao. Thanks to a young girl named Hongdu, we know the doctor is extremely kind to children and makes them feel at ease. This guy is so good at what he does that Herbalist Gui dreads the day he sullied his good name. Even so, if you're looking for a man of high caliber or great courage, this is not your guy.
Are you sure about that?
Baizhu took Kiki in despite her predicament as a zombie with memory loss. This action was fueled by his own personal pursuit of eternal life, as he had suffered from an illness he cannot seem to cure for ages. It is ironic how such a great doctor is suffering from poor constitution and weak physical condition. Either way, he takes good care of Kiki and has given her some purpose at the pharmacy. He would even embrace and offer loving words to her, but he utters these words ever so lightly that it's almost eerie. But hey, he's an overall good father figure for our favorite pity runner, and she is aware of his intentions, but doesn't seem to mind. In fact, Baizhu is so protective of Kiki that Xingqi can't seem to have a conversation with him around, and he will not let Hu Tao lay Kiki to rest. Let's just say the funeral parlor director is not happy about a dude chasing immortality. As flawless as he may seem, his business practices are kind of shady. Even Chang Sheng hints at questionable conduct, further fueled by his dealings with Yan Fei regarding charlatans selling ineffective medicines. What's worse is that our personal floating dumpling, Paimon, finds him to be very sly as well. On the other hand, Baizhu has a striking resemblance to Pantalone, the regulator of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. Yes, evil Baizhu, but with darker hair. Coincidence? Only time will tell. But perhaps there really is a snake on the loose. From what we know so far, this is what the doctor's kit is shaping up to be like. At least, there are no injections in here. Traditional, where he does 4 attacks that deal Dendro damage to opponents in front of him. Consumes stamina to deal AoE Dendro damage to foes in front of him, following a short casting time. Damages all opponents in his path, and deals AoE Dendro damage upon impact. But this can't be too good on his body. Baizhu manipulates a Gossamer sprite, technically a snake, that moves and attacks nearby opponents with Dendro damage. After performing up to 3 attacks, or if there aren't any opponents left in the range, the sprite will return to heal all nearby party members, based on Baizhu's max HP. After all, who wouldn't want to return to daddy? Entering the pulsing edict state, Baizhu creates a seamless shield, much like himself. While in this state, he will generate a shield every 2 seconds, and it will unleash a Spirit Wing to heal active characters. Based on Baizhu's max HP, it will also attack opponents with Dendro damage whenever a character protected by a seamless shield generates a new shield and when the shield expires or shatters. Neither this dog nor his snake would go down easily. When the dog is in the party, interacting with collectible items will heal your active character by 2.5% of Baizhu's max HP. Now you have a reason to pick up all those mints. We gain different effects depending on the current HP of our active character. If their HP is less than 50%, Baizhu gets 20% healing bonus, or if their HP is equal to or more than 50%, Baizhu gains 25% Dendro damage bonus. Win-win. The Fragile Bodied Daddy is an amazing buffer. This passive talent allows Baizhu to utilize his HP in a creative way other than in his shielding and healing. For every 1000 points of HP up to 50,000 Baizhu has, he increases burning, bloom, hyper bloom, and burgeon damage of the characters healed by his shield by 2%. Moreover, it also increases the spread and aggravate damage of these characters by 0.8%. That's 100% extra damage for bloom related reactions and 40% extra damage for spread and aggravate if you bulk him up to 50,000 HP. This makes him arguably one of the best supports, if not the best, for any Dendro focused team. Constellations and talent priority is as follows. Based on what we know so far, we can divide the best team comps for Baizhu based on the focus reaction. Remember that Baizhu needs able-bodied teammates to bring out his A-game. Bloom teams: A. Ayato, Nilou, Nahida, and Baizhu. B. Kave, Xinghui, Nilou, and Baizhu. Spread team: Al Haitham, Yaemiko, Nahida, and Baizhu. Hyper Bloom team: Raiden Shogun, Yelan, Xinghui, and Baizhu. Hyper Bloom spread team: Yaemiko, Nahida, Xinghui, and Baizhu. Aggravate team: Sino, Fischl, Beidou, and Baizhu. Finally, the free-to-play team: Dendro Traveler, Lisa, Collei, or Xiangling, and Baizhu. Baizhu is an awesome damage mitigator, but whether he inflicts killer
emotional damage
on you or not depends on your luck in Genshin, so pray to our Lord Wei to have mercy on us. Not only does Baizhu heal, but he also bestows upon you a decently beefy shield that scales with his HP. What makes it such an awesome shield is that it refreshes every 2.5 seconds, allowing you to sustain a lot more damage from enemies for an extended period of time. Since Geo really doesn't have much to offer for Dendro, having Zhongli on Dendro teams felt like a waste till now. We know how awesome he is, Zhongli mains, but now Baizhu lets us have Dendro shielding and healing in one without necessarily sacrificing a slot, just for a chunky shield. From what we have seen so far, Baizhu primarily functions as a healer and secondarily as a shielder. You can build your teams to work with Catalyze, Bloom, Spread, Aggravate, Burgeon, and Hyper Bloom with whatever units you have, as he acts as an amazing damage buffer for them. In Bloom teams, he will function as a healer, while the remainder deals damage through the Bloom reaction. Teams like this are where passive talents like Nilou's really shine by turning cores into bountiful cores to deal large AoE damage. Nilou or not, you should try to integrate him into Quick Swap Aggravate, Bloom, and Hyper Bloom teams. By providing both heals and shields, he becomes a very flexible unit that can get things done off-field. Also remember that Dendro reactions are key for Baizhu, so Nahida is our goddess once more, alongside characters with constant elemental applications. Couldn't get Nahida? Don't have enough primos for both Dendro Daddy and the lowly Archon? Fret not, because Baizhu himself can act as a substitute or supplement for Nahida. Because anyone attacks us, we're not saying she is inferior in any way. The fact that he's running in the same patch as Nahida is no mere coincidence either. Whether or not you're pulling for one or both, they would become major boosts to your account, as Baizhu provides a lot of buffs to Dendro reactions, just like Nahida. He can take her place instead. This is for people who don't necessarily like Nahida, or can't have mercy on your soul, or can't seem to get her, even after throwing everything but the kitchen sink into her banner. However, if you do pair them up in a single team, expect nothing less than an extremely strong comp that could quite possibly breeze through content. Baizhu is an inherently defensive unit, so you should overlook his own damage output and allow him to maximize his team's damage and efficiency overall. Your focus should be a decked out support Baizhu, stacking as much HP on him as possible, alongside high energy recharge and healing bonus, cause he's gonna need all the health and energy. Baizhu's own attacks have a short range and low damage, while their Dendro application is also insignificant. On the other hand, your Hydro and Electro DPS units would benefit greatly from his skills, so it is all about how the team functions together. Bear in mind that Baizhu has a huge energy requirement, which isn't surprising considering how OP his ultimate is. Aim for around 180 to 200% ER, or use batteries like Fischl or Raiden Shogun to meet the demand. The Electro team buff always goes well with him, considering how the element works with Dendro as well. Your goal is to use his burst once during each rotation, providing your team a miraculous damage boost each time alongside some much needed utility. The less time he spends on a tough battlefield, the better. Baizhu on his own is quite weak, so much so that he will easily go down when not protected by a shield or healing bucket loads of HP per tick. Just like most Catalyst wielders, keep him in a safe distance away from enemies to use his skills, swap to your other units, and go crazy. Just like his body's physical condition, Baizhu is not about physical damage in any way. There are two main builds you can use to make the most of this slippery doctor. His best weapon, of course, is his signature catalyst, releasing right alongside him. The Jade Foal's Splendor provides 49.6% HP as its secondary stat. The passive is just built for Baizhu. For 3 seconds after using his burst or creating a shield, Baizhu will gain Primordial Jade Regalia effect, which restores 4.5 HP every 2.5 seconds and gains 0.3% elemental damage bonus for the corresponding element for every 1000 max HP in possession, up to a whopping 12%. And yes, this effect stays active when Baizhu is off-field as well. Other weapon options include the thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers and the Favinus Codex, both obtainable from the Gacha system. Your go-to free-to-play weapon, as mentioned earlier, is the craftable 4-star prototype Amber, which you even get refinement on. Artifacts. You should be gunning for a good 4-piece ocean-hued clam set with a ton of HP on it. What's more, you'll be dealing good physical damage as well, the only physical he will ever do. You can pre-farm for this without any issues. A solid alternative would be any 2-piece healing bonus set, made in Beloved or Ocean-Hued Clam, alongside a 2-piece Tenacity of the Millilith set. Weapons. Surprise, surprise, because your best weapon for this build is the fairly free-to-play Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer's Catalyst. Let's be honest, you must have a lot of these by now, because it is a common 3-star drop. We couldn't live with our own gacha failure, so where did that lead us? Back to the Thrilling Tales. Your substitute weapon choices are the Jade Foal's Splendor, look how far it's fallen, the Prototype Ember, Favinus Codex, and the Wandering Even Star. The reasons are technically the same as before, so don't sweat it. Artifacts. Whether you have farmed it till now or not, it is time to bring out your best 4-piece Deepwood Memories set. It shines even more if you're going to use the dog alongside a solid Dendro DPS unit. Your go-to substitute would be a 2-piece Emblem of Severed Fate set with a 2-piece Tenacity of the Millilith set. Dude just needs a lot of ER and HP, so these are the way to go. Thus concludes this article on the highly anticipated 5-star Dendro Catalyst user, Dr. Baizhu. There is no doubt that he will have a revitalizing effect on the game's meta and open the door to many possibilities. Make sure you do all the pre-farming now and hoard all your primos for him, cause he is just around the corner. Need more reasons? He is a Dendro daddy. Enough said.